Good afternoon, everyone. My first instinct was to upstage Aretha Franklin's singing of the national anthem, but they couldn't get me a piano in time. Graduates, faculty, families, guests, staff and friends, welcome. How wonderful to have you all here with us for the Harvard Divinity School Diploma ceremony in Memorial Church. I want to thank Professor Jonathan Walton and his staff for being such gracious hosts to us today and for giving such a great benediction earlier. I'd like to be the first to congratulate the class of 2014. I'd also like to take a moment to say thank you to parents, especially parents, families, friends, on behalf of the students for your crucial support throughout the graduate studies here at the Divinity School. We celebrate with you today as well, and I'd like now to ask our graduates to rise and to express their thanks to you. So please, students, stand up and turn around. So it's my pleasure now to introduce our student speaker this year, selected by a competition. It's Lucia Hulsether, who is receiving the MDiv from the Divinity School today. Lucia is also a graduate of the North American Religions Colloquium, where she has been a terrific member for the last year and soon on her way for graduate study in Yale. So Lucia, over to you.
What does the world need? This has been a question at HDS over the last few weeks, thanks to a new HDS Capital campaign video with a powerful and by now familiar refrain. The world needs HDS. What a fitting message for commencement when we have gathered to embark beyond this world of study and writing and practice, learning, and to step to whatever confronts us beyond this stage as agents and practitioners of all that we have learned. The world needs HDS. The world needs us. The world needs you. On a day like today, it makes sense to focus on ourselves. People who love us have traveled far distances to celebrate their presence, attesting to just how far the ripples of our lives can go. Add to this uncertainties about the future, what is around that next corner, questions about whether and how our lives will really matter. These are some of the natural, inward-oriented questions that attend this event today with us, questions that I know many of you, myself included, have been asking for your whole life. What does the world need? What do I need? HDS, in its commitment to integrating personal reflection with urgent ethical commitments, seems to exist in the gray space between those questions. And today they converge. The practice period is over. We have been educated to believe that there needn't be conflict in these projects, that our own need and the world's need can and perhaps should intersect, To this point, influential civil rights leader and theologian Howard Thurman says, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because the world needs people who have come alive." Theologian Frederick Buechner says, "God is calling you to the place where your deep longing meets the world's great need." Or consider the fundraising video, "The World Needs HDS," which is one way of HDS saying that the world needs you. And on commencement, we hear that we are finally ready for this world and that our time is now. And isn't it tidy? This year, I have been reading a lot about the political climate of HDS in the late 1960s. About the students who embarked upon their theological education just as anti-imperial and black-brown liberation movements were lighting up the country and the world. HDS was no exception. Students had clear visions about what the world needed and how HDS figured into that picture, or not. We can only imagine how the brand new HDS dean felt when, before classes had even started in the fall of 1968, police officers showed up at his door with a warrant for the arrest of an AWOL Marine whom students had been harboring in Andover Chapel as an act of protest against the war. In his convocation address the next day, Dean Krister Stendahl, who was sympathetic to the protest but also trying to run the school, warned students to slow it down. "It is better to be sensitive and wise," he said, "than mighty and clear." He failed to convince them. "Perhaps," wrote the student newspaper editor the next day, "we must risk being foolish or naive or noisy to set events into motion." So naive and mighty, clear and foolish, they kept organizing. Soon, the school announced plans to construct a building using a grant from the Rockefeller Foundation. "But over our dead bodies," students said, "would HDS accept oil industry money?" Call their move inverse divestment. Call it naivete, call it clarity. What did the world need in 1968 in 2014? Not a new building. It needed affordable housing, an end to endless war and its glorification, the immediate demilitarization of Black and brown neighborhoods. But so fiercely did these students desire a transformed world that they were willing to divest even their education, even themselves, from its realization. When the needs of the world seem overwhelming, which they clearly did in 1968, which may be true now, it is tempting to zoom in on ourselves, on our own longings and our own futures. This is how we try to keep despair at bay, and the impulse isn't necessarily wrong. It is surely understandable. But in those moments when it's expedient to wonder how we can make our needs meet the world's needs, the move to ask this question makes a very dangerous assumption that our aspirations are already aligned with what the world needs, and moreover, that we can diagnose the world. It neglects how our imagined desires have already been shaped and educated by forces much bigger than us. Call it globalizing capitalism. Call it that pull towards reward and recognition. Call it Harvard University. What would it mean? What would it mean to radicalize our desires? to walk across this stage into the world knowing that not only is it our time now, but that it has always been our time. To be so convicted by a vision of a different world that it would no longer matter where or if we figured into its arrival. What would it mean to live as though everything were at stake right now, in every moment, rather than calculating for a future where we are smart enough, or prepared enough, well-financed enough, brave enough to respond? Friends, I confess that I have spent much of this year looking towards this past. These long ago peers of ours would have burned down the structure of their education and recreated it from scratch, rather than continue compromising with its present violence. My knees buckle under the weight of that history. The halls seem haunted by their ghosts asking, "Does the world need you? Are you so presumptuous as to think so?" I stand here looking at you, my colleagues, my challengers, my dear friends. But these voices are echoing in my mind. I keep looking for where they are. I can't find them. I keep looking for them and I can't find them. I keep looking, I can't find them. And so I have to open my eyes again. And I see you, and you pull me into this space. I see you placing your bodies on the line for a just economy. I see you fighting to end gender-based violence, speaking prophetic words, healing the earth, recovering from trauma, and sharing the journey with others, awakening imaginations through art, teaching, mentoring, listening, embracing, creating a new kind of world. I see that an impossible vision has claimed you, a vision where relationships and choices are not defined by utilitarian calculations of success and value. You have given yourself to something that all of us belong to, instead of the reverse. And you have lived and you are living as if there is something at stake right now, as if this is the moment to remake the world. It is beautifully foolish. It is mighty in wisdom. I know this because when I have looked elsewhere for radical desires and radical action, trapped in nostalgia, you break open our present, our most radical moment, the one place where we can give ourselves over to each other, the one site where we can embody the horizon that we long for. It is true that in a moment we will cross a threshold. We will get our degrees. We will have letters after our names. We will arrive in a future that might have at one point felt impossible to imagine, much less to attain. But in almost all of the ways that count, we will not be any different. Our charge remains the same: to go on living in the most radical way that we can, knowing in each moment we are enacting the different world that we want to see. What does the world need? We don't know. We don't get to know. We hardly even know our own needs. Those are the wrong questions. How do we live in a world with impossible needs? By leaning into impossible desires. By living into a transformed world right now, enacting it with every step. By losing our singularity to be with and in each other, with and in this planetary web that holds us. Sensitive, clear, wise, naive, mighty, foolish. May your dreams be mighty. May your desires be impossible. May your lives be foolish. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This morning in Tercentenary Theatre, 112 degrees were conferred on the graduating class of 2014, inclusive of degrees earned in November, March, and May. They were comprised of 66 Masters of Theological Studies, 42 Masters of Divinity, 1 Master of Theology, and 3 Doctors of Theology. So today we have the opportunity in a more intimate setting to celebrate these degrees and the individual attainments they represent. As each graduate is named and comes forward to receive his or her degree, if the graduate has indicated a desire for us to do so, a brief statement about his or her plans will also be read. We will award diplomas by degree, beginning with the MTS candidates.
Candidates for the Master of Theological Studies, please rise. Brittany Adams. Olorunfemi Adetoro.
Olorunfemi is immensely grateful to God Almighty, the Father, our Lord Jesus Christ, Archbishop Joseph Akinfenwa, his family, and all that God has been using for his life, family, and ministry.
Ahmed Ali Akbar.
Ahmed sends salams and love to the friends and family who have supported him, especially his late mother, Rana Akbar, who inspired him with her fearless commitment to Islam.
Elise Alexander.
Elise would like to thank her family and friends for their unflagging support.
Khalil Andani.
Khalil will begin a PhD program in Islamic Studies in Harvard's Graduate School of Arts and Sciences.
Charles Barber II.
Charles will attend Emory University as a PhD candidate in the Graduate Division of Religion. He's grateful for the support of his family and friends while at HDS.
Joshua Bhatti.
Yashua would like to thank his family and friends who have made the last 2 years very memorable.
Frank Plebo.
Frank has been named as the Matthew Strominger Prize Fellow at the History of Science Department, GSAS, Harvard University, to pursue a graduate program in the history of medicine.
Daniel Bohack. Caitlin Carver.
Caitlin wishes to thank her friends and family for their love and support as she begins her doctoral research this autumn in the United Kingdom and works remotely as an educational consultant in Dubai.
Jordan Conley.
In the fall, Jordan will be starting a doctoral work at Boston University. She would like to thank her partner for all his support and encouragement.
Avatar Davis. Brooke Davis. Brooke is also receiving a Master of Public Administration from the Harvard Kennedy School today.
Brooke wishes to thank her dad for teaching her to accept that we learn from failures too, and her mom for being steadfast in love and encouragement. She couldn't be more proud to be their daughter.
Jessica Daviso.
Jessica will return to her career as an art teacher. She thanks her husband, parents, brother, and all the faculty members here at HDS for making these 2 years so memorable.
Melissa DeBono.
Melissa would like to thank Roman, Michael, and Ava for their support through this degree program. After graduation, Melissa will be serving in pastoral ministry in the Church of the Nazarene.
Megan D. Waters. Michael Ennis.
Michael will remain at Harvard Divinity, pursuing a PhD. He's grateful to those who have supported him, especially Maria, Charlie, and Eminence, and his parents, David and Martha.
Sarah Fine.
Sarah would like to thank her family for helping her reach this amazing day.
Anna Fett.
Anna gives her deepest appreciation to her family and husband for their endless love and encouragement, especially her grandfather, who has inspired her to continue her education.
Malka Fleischman.
Malka thanks her parents for being the fabulous people that they are, and she thanks them for keeping her company today. She loves them. L'chaim.
Christopher Fleming. Leah Gage. Matthew Geisendorfer Lindgren.
Matthew will attend the University of Michigan Law School next year.
Mahmoud Garavi.
Mahmoud expresses his deepest gratitude and most sincere appreciation to the faculty, friends, and family. He may have gotten here on a prayer, but it was you all that pulled him through.
Matthias Giles.
Matthias thanks his friends and family, most especially his parents, for their constant and unwavering support, enthusiasm, and interest in all his pursuits, academic and otherwise.
Bridget Goggin.
Bridget also earned her certificate in religious studies and education and plans to continue in education-focused work. She sends love and gratitude to those who helped make the past 2 years so rewarding.
Emily Henson.
Emily would like to thank her family for their love and encouragement, Patty's Lunch for the moral support and liquid courage, and the CSWR for the inspiring community and endless supply of snacks.
Lauren Herman.
Lauren will clerk at the New Jersey Supreme Court. She brings with her much gratitude for her family, friends, professors, and classmates who have helped her learn and grow the past 4 years.
Afroza Hussein.
Afroza says, I am my best work, a series of roadmaps, recipes, doodles, and prayers from the front lines. Thanks to my family for being here, especially Christopher, partner, friend, and love, without whom nothing.
Sarah Khan.
Sarah will take a year off to learn more Arabic and French, recharge herself for PhD applications, and get married.
Smriti Kanal. Lauren Kinrich.
Lauren will teach history at Up Academy Oliver Middle School in Lawrence, Massachusetts. She thanks her family, her boyfriend Rylan, and her advisor Kimberly Patton.
Woon Sung Ryan Lee.
Ryan gives thanks to Lord God Almighty, his family, his church, and HDS professors and colleagues. Ryan will continue to serve Boston Onuri Church and Spring of Boston congregation.
Marlana Letier.
Marlana will pursue doctoral work in international education development at Columbia University Teachers College. She thanks her teachers and colleagues for their support, pushback, and love.
Joseph Lorenz. Albert Maldonado.
Albert thanks his parents, Albert and Maria, and his sister Darlene for their support through this process. He plans to continue on to law school.
Isaac May.
Isaac will pursue a doctoral degree in religious studies at the University of Virginia.
Joseph Milillo.
Joseph would like to thank all his family for their support.
Sarah Miller.
Sarah would like to thank her parents, Glenn and Carol, for their unending love and support during this and every life journey. Congratulations, class of 2014.
Jesse Maratznik.
Jesse is continuing on at Harvard for his PhD in Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations.
Kelsey Morrison Atkins.
Kelsey will begin her PhD in New Testament and Early Christianity in the fall at HDS. She wishes to thank her parents and her husband for their enduring support over the past 2 years.
Asil Najib.
Asil studied Islamic studies and Muslim social history at the Divinity School. She's a proud member of the HDS community.
Adekunle Ogunsheye.
Coincidence seems unprecedented. Incidents are sometimes divinely incited. Graduating from HDS is incidental to knowing God, encountering Professor Olupina, Dean Hernandez, and Archbishop Akinfenwa.
Jared Oubre.
Jared is grateful for Dad who edits those papers, for Mother who is warm as vapor, for brother who lives with vigor, for sisters who can even cook liver, and gratitude for a gracious God.
Sejal Patel.
Sejal is grateful to her parents, her husband Sanjay, her daughters Sonia and Sarina, and Professors Jackson, Moore, and Gaston for inspiring her to be brave, creative, and happy.
Emma Patton.
This fall, Emma will begin a doctoral program in anthropology at Princeton. She thanks Vivian, Gary, and Caroline Patton for a lifetime of support and HDS for an inspiring education.
Jessie Post.
Jessie is deeply grateful to her mentors, friends, and family, especially Tyler, for their incredible love, support, and sacrifice.
Jonathan Pavlonis.
Jonathan thanks his friends and family for their support over the past 2 years. He plans to continue living in Boston after graduation.
Kurt Prescott.
Kurt thanks his family, friends, and advisor Kimberly Patton for their unwavering support and commitment over the past 2 years.
Joanne Riley.
Jo will join the British Civil Service. She thanks her parents, Tina and Seamus, for their unwavering love and support. She owes everything to them.
Thomas Richardson.
Thomas would like to thank his parents, Jim and Barb Richardson, and his fiancée Mara, for all their support and love.
Irene Route.
Irene would like to thank Professor Jonathan Walton and the whole Walton family for their constant love and support.
Yevgeny Runkevich.
Yevgeny expresses profound gratitude to his mentors and friends at HDS and is eager to meet some of you again this November in San Diego, California at AAR.
Jordan Sarletta. Natasha Thompson.
Natasha thanks her family for their support, the incredible friends she's made during her 2 years at HDS, and the excellent professors she's had the privilege of learning from.
Benjamin Van Arnhem.
Ben will spend the next year studying Chinese in Beijing, China, and then plans to continue his studies in Buddhism. He thanks his friends, professors, and his parents for all their support.
Feng Shua Wang. Anna Veersinga. Alethea Williams. Would the MTS graduates please rise? Dean Hampton, members of the faculty, family, and friends, I present to you the Masters of Theological Studies graduates of 2014. Please be seated. Candidates for the Master of Divinity, please rise. Michael Ball. Pierre Berastain.
As an undocumented immigrant, Pierre would like to thank his parents, Juan and Margarita, for bringing them to his country in search of a better tomorrow, his sister, Yamilet, for her unconditional love and support, and Maritza Hernandez and Professor Michael Jackson for being mentors at HDS.
Willie Bodrick II.
After graduation, Willie will be heading to Yale Divinity School to complete a Master of Sacred Theology and will continue in ministry at 12th Baptist Church as the youth and young adult pastor.
Shelley Brown.
Shelley is so thankful for her experience at HDS as a minister of the gospel and as a scientist, where she studied the relationship between science and religion.
Polly Carden.
Polly thanks her family, friends, and mentors. She's going on to a CPE residency in Minneapolis, joined by her partner, Ellen, to whom she is recently and joyfully engaged. Cat and pickup truck to come.
Teresa Coda.
Teresa is overflowing with gratitude for the people who have made her time at HDS possible and perfect, particularly her parents, professors, and class cohort. Next year, Teresa will complete a chaplaincy residency at Brigham and Women's Hospital.
Jordan Coleman.
Jordan would like to thank his family and friends for all their support. Next year, he will intern as a chaplain at the National Institutes of Health in Washington, D.C.
Hillary Collins Gilpatrick.
Hillary is happy.
Ernesto Fernandez.
Ernesto recognizes his family and friends, faculty and staff, and everyone else who supported him when they didn't have to. His successes are yours. To each of you, 1,000 times, thank you.
Kai Flannery.
Kai thanks the faculty, staff, and students at HDS for their generosity of heart. This summer, she's doing youth work with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee and is looking for work that integrates ministry and social justice.
Andrew Duncan Gardner.
Duncan is marrying his sweetheart, Lisa, this summer. In the fall, he's accepting a CPE residency position in New York. He thanks his family for their support.
Ellen Green.
With this degree, Ellen honors her father, the late Reverend Pat Green, MDiv class of 1972. Ellen is grateful to her family, as well as colleagues and mentors at HDS in her parish internship site.
Nicholas Hayes.
Upon graduation, Nicholas will step up as Faith Community Partnerships Organizer at the New Economy Coalition in Boston. He's also pursuing ordination in the Episcopal Church.
Ebony Haynes.
Ebony will pursue law school to continue working in the realm of ethics by focusing on human rights law. Currently, she's working full-time at her undergraduate institution, UCLA.
Matthew Hill.
Matthew will continue his studies next year at Yale Divinity School, where he will complete the Master of Sacred Theology. He would like to thank his family for their support.
Morgan Elizabeth Howard Penland.
Morgan will attend a spiritual writing workshop at Collegeville Institute this July and would like to thank her wife Elizabeth for all her support during the past 3 years.
Lucia Holtzeller.
Lucia is grateful to her community of friends, teachers, and family who fill her world with light. She especially thanks her parents, Mark and Ann, for their support and example.
Isabel Jenkins.
Isabel thanks her family, friends, and mentors for all their love and support. She looks forward to a career in higher education, which would not be possible without her HDS experience.
Christina Larissa Ariane Johnson.
Ariane sincerely wants to thank me, Tim Welsky, for being an excellent orator and maybe the best human at HDS. This summer, she'll begin her peace-building career as a barista in Brooklyn.
Zachary Kersey.
Zach would like to thank his peers, who he has found to be incredibly encouraging and infinitely interesting, as well as his wife and family for their support.
Sarah Bing Levy Brightman. Sarah Lord.
Sarah is deeply grateful to her family and friends for their love, support, and humor over the past 3 years. In the fall, she will be teaching English in Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Kimberly Luck. Biba Matthew.
Biba would like to thank Stephanie Paulsell, Usman Khan, Unyoung Lim, Emily Click, Dan Smith, Patricia Simpson, the OMS staff, and her HDS classmates for all their generosity and support.
Bernadine Nash McClum.
Bernadine thanks those who provided her light along her journey, particularly husband Jerry, her North Star. Bernadine will continue teaching, training, and conducting workshops on writing for spiritual healing and transformation.
Eric Norby.
Eric thanks his sister Kari, as well as his parents Val and Steve, who perhaps unintentionally convinced him to follow their example and become a Baptist minister.
Omobolaji Ogunshola.
Balaji gives glory to God for the opportunity to grow with this community over the last 3 years, and she's grateful to her family and friends who've been an invaluable source of support.
Andrew Porter.
Andrew studied social ethics at HDS. He plans to return to his hometown of Louisville, get married, and spend lots of time with his family, work at a social justice retreat center, and teach.
Janae Quesada.
Janae would like to thank God for this opportunity, as well as her husband Jonathan for his abundant support, her parents for their examples, and all of her family and friends for their encouragement.
Seth Robinson.
Seth is grateful for the love and guidance of friends and mentors who, again and again, surprised him with grace.
Lily Ross.
Following summer CPE at the Brigham and Women's Hospital, Lily will be moving to California, where she plans to lead a generous and authentic life.
Leah Ramsey.
Leah thanks her family, friends, and church community.
Sheehan Scarborough. Laura Steele. Matthew Schuyler Vogel.
Schuyler is grateful for all the friends, faculty, and staff who made HDS such a wonderful experience. In the fall, he's excited to pastor a Unitarian Universalist church in the suburbs of Milwaukee.
Peter Williamson.
Pete is staying around Boston and is marrying a tax lawyer to keep him in the way he is accustomed. He's looking for a ministry job, any job. Talk to him afterwards.
Michael Wolf.
Michael wishes to thank his parents, Mike and Dana, and his partner, Emily, for their love and support. Without them, none of this would be possible.
Would the MDiv graduates please rise? Dean Hampton, members of the faculty, family, and friends, I present to you the graduate of 2014. Please be seated. Candidates for the Doctor of Theology, please rise. Brett Granger.
Dissertation entitled The Vital Landscape, Evangelical Religious Practice and the Culture of Nature in America, 1790 to 1870. Brett is currently a visiting assistant professor at Villanova University.
Maria Cecilia Holt.
Dissertation entitled From the River, Jesuit Missions and Exemplarity in Spanish Colonial Philippines, 1581 to 1768. Maria Cecilia is grateful for the support of her teachers, the Financial Aid Office, and the librarians at HDS. Special thanks go to her husband Jacob, her son Holt, family, friends, and her students.
Would the THD graduates please rise? Dean Hampton, members of the faculty, family, and friends, I present to you the Doctor of Theology graduates of 2014.
So, so thank you, Maritza, Annie, Tim, all the members of the Office of Student Services for all your work, thought, and effort to make this ceremony so possible. So I hope to meet and see as many of you as possible at our luncheon under the tent. We got the weather fixed overnight. Took a bit of time and effort. It was cold yesterday. So I wish everyone the best of luck going forward and look forward to hearing about all your accomplishments in the future. Let's give our graduates one last round of applause. So that's it. Please do join us for lunch. And the faculty will now lead the graduates from the church. I think that's us.